Hi everyone, new episode, new chronicles. It's always like this. So we are talking with Mariafranca Caruso this week. She is working with a company that is working hard on neuroscience and the application of neuroscience to digital transition. Actually, we'll be talking a lot about Italian food. I hope you enjoy it. And then we'll talk with Pablo Morales from the Chamber of Commerce of Seville. He has been doing a lot of projects for some time and in many different sectors, entrepreneurial, innovation, reskilling. And in both cases, we end up talking a lot about the tourism sector. No surprises there. It's an important sector for both countries and for all Europe, actually. We end up with an analysis of an open call about intellectual asset management. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to InnovEU. And today we have with us live from Milan, Mariafranca Caruso. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Please, would you introduce to us your organization? What do you do? Where you are based in Milan, of course, but I said that.
Yeah.
But what's your activity?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I introduce myself. My name is Mariafranca Caruso, and I'm a researcher at the GT Foundation. I specialize in research in the area of applied neuroscience to marketing and digital transformation, focus in economics and marketing. So GTechnology Foundation is a no-profit organization with the main mission on sustainable innovation and its impact on society and environment. Founded in 2012 in Modena, GTechnology conduct research using its own technical and organizational resource and collaborating with the university research center professional. Its goal is to support a company and startup in the digital transformation and innovation. The foundation is also committed to promoting social innovation by addressing social challenging through innovating project.
So you've been doing that in the past 12 years, and have you been involved in EU-funded projects to implement to help SMEs do the digital transition, as you mentioned?
Yeah, and research. A lot of research in digital transformation and innovation.
Any particular sectors or in general?
More or less in all sectors. It depends of the company.
Okay.
We participate in the European National Call project for startup or enterprise, PNR, and internal research in the field of digital transformation and innovation. So we are currently participating in Erasmus Plus Start, a sustainable and technological approach to rethinking tourism. The role of GTechnology in the sub-project was to provide technical and technological idea, proposal, and content, draw from its experience as a tech partner. Another project that we are participating in this moment is a City project. It is a social, economical, and technological system built together the community and enterprise to enhance the resilience of the small town that exists in Italy. Another project is Typic, that is a social community that creates connection between Italian food and wine lovers and professional lovers all professionals, chef, videomaker, sommelier, cookie school, food lover, and journalist can join platform and create content relating with the Italian food and wine, like a recipe, review about product or territory. It represents a digital showcase for company, but also for the professional in this sector. Associated with this social community was born the training project in digital marketing for food and wine and tourism. I'm to the students of hospitality institution. Students not only learn the basic of marketing and digital, but also practice them in the workshop with chef, videomaker, and company. This training project increase employment of students in the world of work because there is a link with the professional of the sector.
I was going to ask you that in a minute. What has been the impact of these projects we've been working on these years? So you're mentioning that employability is higher.
Yeah,
Um,
because chef, videomaker, uh, create a link with the students, with the best students, and then the students go to the structure to work or in the cuisine, in the kitchen, or in the hotellerie, in the front office or back office maybe.
mhm,
And there is a strange link with the world of work, and it's a
mhm.
good opportunity for the students.
It must be hard to be doing such a project in about Italian cuisine and wine. It must be really hard. How do you manage that?
Because you have to think that in southern Italy, the most important business is the hospitality, the tourism sector, because, for example, my parents live in Puglia, in southern Italy, and there is the tourism sector is the focus of the
Mm,
economy of Puglia. Tourism sector,
sure.
the hospitality, I don't know, restaurant, all the company that linked with the tourism.
Yeah, I guess in Italy, tourism must have about the same weight in the whole economy as in Portugal. It's about 20%. So I guess in Italy it shouldn't be too different from
Maybe
that.
I think it's more than 20% in Italy. So in southern Italy, because
Mhm,
in
mhm.
Italy there is a lot of company industry.
Sure, the north is more industrialized. That's what you mean. Okay.
Uh,
Um, and
so there is another project related to the training program project. There is Capitan Cooking that was created to enhance Italian food and wine tradition through the competition of a food and wine competition students of hotellery institutes. And the goal is to create a national media event that create a link between the young people and the world of work. The last
Mhm,
event of Capitan Cooking was in April, and
mhm,
it was a good event to promote young people that want to work in this sector. So this
mhm.
is to the kitchen restaurants because they cook traditional recipe.
Oh God. That must be hard, really. I want to ask you one more thing about the projects you've been doing. What's your role in those projects? Do you write the applications? Do you
Um,
implement the projects? Do you report? Do you
uh,
write the reporting, or do you do everything?
More or less all, because
Mm,
we decide to the structure of the project, and then we had to build the project. We have to create the networking with the company, with the professional individual, with the association, with the organization, with the other organization to support, in particular, this project, because we want to support and I don't know, I don't know in English, but we want to support
you can say it in Italian.
vogliamo supportare la bravura, the best skill of the students, and relate them to the world work, because from the school it's very difficult to create the link,
Mm.
the link with the I don't know, the restaurants, chef, or professional individual. And we want to support and upskill the students,
Yeah,
because
we're
it's
talking about
important,
upskilling. Yeah, yeah.
because it's very important to transfer them digital skill in this moment, in this particular moment
Hmm.
of
Sure.
the society, because all is digital now.
It's always becoming digital,
Yeah.
exactly. If you're not, and you'll be left behind if you don't make the transition. That's the main message, I guess. Before we close, because we could stay all day here talking about this, particularly when you keep talking about Italian food and wine, we could stay here all day. But before we have to close, before we close, I also want to ask you, what would you like to do in the future? What kind of projects would you like to run in the future? What are
Okay.
your dreams?
Allora, my dream is more project in applied neuroscience, because I love applied neuroscience, because I started with research in applied neuroscience. But in Italy, it's very hard that small and medium company know applied neuroscience. It's very difficult, and I hope that in the future we can do a lot of research in this sector.
Maybe you can help there if you can break some myths that always go around neuroscience. So there's some myths like it's applicable only to marketing. You can apply this only to salespeople. What are the fields where you summarizing? Because I know it's a lot of
Yeah,
alternatives, but
because
where can you apply it?
uh, uh, in marketing, we do a lot of research in applied neuroscience to marketing and communication, like the study of the word, the right word to use, the communication paper or digital communication, user-friendly website. So how the company have to structure the website, the video,
Mhm.
the media video, and the advertising, So all the marketing input that the consumer can view in the video, TV, or I don't know, on the street, for example, logo or color. And we do research about sounds also. But it's
Well,
a lot of this research is intern is own research.
yeah, but you do it because you want to apply it later, I guess. Any
And
final message?
I imagine a greater focus on artificial intelligence. This not means setting or aside or replacing the human capital, but trying to find the right integration or,
Hmm.
or a new way to employ it. And maybe I'll start 2.0 for the environment sustainability. And I
Sure.
hope that the small enterprise do more project about digital transformation.
Yeah, they don't want to be left behind, I guess, and they must be aware of this. Well, Maria Franca, thank you very much for this interview, for your
Oh,
time.
thank you.
I hope
I'm so sorry
we'll.
for my bad English.
Don't worry, it's not worse than mine, so don't worry. People will give us a break. I hope.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to InnovEU. We have here Pablo Morales talking to us live from Seville, Spain. Is it cold out there in Seville in July?
Not very cold. First of all, good morning, Fernando. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here.
The weather here in Seville is it's getting warmer. Well, it has not been the warmer June in Seville, but and now almost starting the July and also the real summer. So we expect
Yeah.
higher temperature for the next days.
Yeah, Seville is well known for good temperature, good, very high temperatures. And in these high temperatures, what has been your experience? But before that, please tell us a little bit about your institution and yourself.
Yeah,
You work with the Chamber of Commerce, right?
yes, as you already introduced me, I'm Pablo Morales and I work as coordinator for European Union and international projects in the Chamber of Commerce of Seville. The Chamber of Commerce of Seville is a public corporation, a non-profit public corporation, which aims to support the private sector in our province, in the province of Seville, not only in the city of Seville, but in the province of Seville. And we also work very close with the public administration because we are established by law as a consultative body of the public administration. So we work between the two walls, the public and the private sector.
And you yourself, the Chamber of Commerce, is it a private or a public institution?
It's public. Public. We are a public body. We are a public body, but we work closely to the public administration, but also close to the private sector because we defend the interest of the companies in our region. So we need to understand the needs of the companies and the private sector in our region because one of our aims is to support them to be more innovative, to be competitive in this changing world. And we support them with different programs in which we provide innovation vouchers. We support them on internationalization issues. We facilitate the bureaucracy for exports. And we also, among many other activities we have, we also train them in different aspects. And especially we work with entrepreneurs, with new entrepreneurs. And we assess around, more than 1,000 new entrepreneurs every year, for instance. It is one of our.
That's what I was going to ask you. Can you give us an idea of the dimension of the Chamber of Commerce? How many companies you work with yearly?
Yeah, well, in the province, the chambers of commerce in Spain have changed in the last let's say in the last 15 years, but we maintain all the companies. When you create a company, you automatically belong to a chamber of commerce, to your district or province chamber of commerce, but you don't have to pay to the chambers of commerce. So we have in our registry of the Chamber of Commerce, we have around, let's say, 110,000 different business activities. A company may have more than one business activity, but the dimension is like that.
It's still a
110,
large number.
115 different business activities in the province of Seville. And considering that one company may have one or several business activities, but that gives the dimension. It is also important to say that although Andalusia has been a region in Spain not considered among the richest, it is indeed considered among the poorest regions in Spain. The province of Seville itself is the fifth province in Spain in GDP per capita.
So you have a GDP per capita much higher than the rest of Andalusia.
Yes, right.
And how long have you been doing this? How long does the Chamber of Commerce exist, and for how long have you been working with it?
I've been working in the Chamber of Commerce for 18 years now. So it's a long experience. Always working in international projects and also supporting my colleagues in other aspects, in internationalization, entrepreneurship, etc. But my activity has been mainly focused to international and European Union cooperation.
So you have been doing a lot of international projects, EU-funded projects in these years.
Yeah, I think so.
A large number.
Yeah, large number. I think we have already implemented around 80 or 85 European Union funded projects.
Wow. Can you select one, your favorite?
Well, my favorites, difficult to say, but I have one favorite. Yes, I have one favorite project. It was called MedMobile. It was financed by the European Neighborhood Instrument of the European Union with the Mediterranean countries. It was implemented around 2012 and 2015. And that project aimed to improve the mobility and training framework in the European Union with third countries, with neighboring countries, and we were working with for instance, with Palestine, both Gaza and West Bank, Lebanon, Jordan, and other European countries involved were Italy and Greece, for instance. And we worked. The partners were from these countries, but we also work with organizations from other countries, from other parts of Spain, from France as well, from Egypt, and we collaborated with around 30 organizations which organize different types of mobility. So it was like a program to organize different types of mobilities. We work. It was like 30 small Erasmus Plus projects within one project. But the most important of that was to analyze the possibilities of increasing the cooperation in mobilities for not only for students, but also for professors, professionals, and entrepreneurs.
That program was I guess the predecessor of the present NextMed. But you have worked with many different programs in these years. You worked with Interreg what is now Euromed. You've worked with Erasmus. I know about this, but I guess that being a Chamber of Commerce, you have companies in many different sectors, and you have projects in many different sectors. Do you have sectors that are more important, that are more dynamic than others?
Well, sectors or programs, you mean?
Both.
Well, as sectors, well, we try to focus on programs which provide the possibility to get project finance in sectors that are relevant for our province. So, for instance, tourism is very important for us because Seville and Andalusia is a tourism power in the European Union and the world. So we want to be a reference in tourism. So we pursue all the potential innovation to be competitive for our companies because they face many challenges. So, for instance, tourism is one of the main sectors we try to support with our international and European Union cooperation. And I can mention many projects that we are developing now or in the past to promote the competitiveness on tourism and nowadays, especially with the digital and green transition. And other sectors that are important for us are the blue economy sectors, those related to the sea, to the river, because it is many people say Seville is not in the coast, and that is not true because we have a maritime port which is connected. It has maritime connection. Our port, even it is connected through the Guadalquivir River, has a direct maritime connection. So blue economy is very important for us, for our port, because of export activities that we have also in the river, and many transport and logistic companies that are operating in our area. So it's very important for us as well. Energy is as well a very important sector for us. Agri-food is essential also in our region, and that is to mention some sectors. So many of our projects are oriented to support these sectors.
Are there any specific projects you're running now?
Yeah, well, I was mentioning before about the green and digital transition. We are working in an Interreg Europe project called Turbo. It has a very energetic name. This project, Turbo, aims to promote digital and green transition among tourism SMEs by improving policies and programs oriented to support SMEs in our European Union regions. That is an example of project aiming to promote the green transition. But we also have other programs oriented to promote the green transition, for instance, for tourism or the digital transition. We have also a live project oriented to promote energy efficiency in different sectors, including tourism. And many of our Erasmus Plus projects are also oriented to improve the digitalization of tourism training, for instance. So those are some examples of those projects. I can talk about many projects, but I know you.
Yeah, we don't have all day to talk about all your projects, sorry. But is that the kind of projects you see the Chamber doing in the future, or is there any change in strategy?
Of course, we are focusing many challenges. When we implement new projects, we try to focus on the needs of our companies and of our sector. So in some cases, it is also challenging when you prepare a proposal or you enter in a partnership, and because maybe the needs of the companies have changed meanwhile you have prepared it, and when it is approved, it's going to be implemented. But we try to adapt, of course, accomplishing the objectives and the expected results of the project to the current needs of the companies. And that is probably something that we have improved in the past. So even when we think on the future, we try to focus with those projects that we are currently implementing. And for instance,
try to build on what you're doing.
And for instance, to mention some for our future, we are focusing in the future much on artificial intelligence, for instance. But I'd like also to mention that, for instance, we are working many projects to improve the competitiveness of our companies, but also training is very important. And for instance, in training has to lead the innovation through the improvement of skills of the professionals, who are finally those who will work in the company, who will work or are currently work. So for us, it's very important to participate in Erasmus Plus projects, and they used to be or try to be innovative. I would mention, for instance, a project that was considered very futuristic when it was presented, and we have adapted to maintain it is called April Line, and April Line it was written and planned during the pandemic, and the COVID pandemic. So it aimed to develop the capacity of the main actors in the vocational education and training to organize digital and virtual learning. That was not so during the pandemic. We all have to train our capacities to be more competitive, working at home. So when we define it, we try to improve the way to design strategies to adapt the procedures of the companies to fit the needs of the companies. So we work on that. We got approved, and well, now it is more common for all of us to work virtually, like we are doing now. It was not so common 3 years ago. And now, but we are focusing on the challenges we find now. So still, companies have to manage how to be competitive. That also takes to flexibility for the workers. The workers have to be flexible with the company, and the company also with the workers, because the needs have changed. The needs of the companies and also of the employees, and that is something that is also managed through April Line, which because April Line focuses on training people from students to professionals on the virtual internships and also on the virtual jobs. So we intend with this type of project to increase the skills of online activities, both internships and later for the. So that is an example, but we are also working also in other very in other projects very focused on virtual training.
I take from your words about the future that you put a lot of importance on the reskilling of people, not just on innovation and having new technologies and new equipments and new possibilities, but also on reskilling people to use those technologies. I like that.
Indeed. Well, reskilling, as you mentioned, is very important. And we see that there are also different generations of employees, of entrepreneurs and employees, because we cannot also forget that it's important to train both entrepreneurs and employees. We are starting to work on artificial intelligence. That is the future, but also the present. Well, it was considered the future 6 months ago. Now it's the present. And for that, we are also working already in a project, for instance, called Claim, that is also an European project aiming to equip equip companies with technological tools based on artificial intelligence to train, to identify the training needs of employees and of the company and anticipate future scenarios using that digital transition and focus on internationalization. And we have also other projects focused on using virtual robots for training, etc., like the project Aside also. It combines what we mentioned before about digital and green transition and with the virtual and artificial intelligence training and focus on to train employees and entrepreneurs on social responsibility issues for the companies. So we are trying to combine all that, and with reskilling and so on. I'd like also to mention, when you ask about favorite project, we also have other nice and very interesting project, because although our priority is to work for the companies in our province, we also work under the European Union on international cooperation, also with their countries. And an example I mentioned before, MedMobile, that was with NA4 countries, but we are also working with Sub-Saharan African countries. And two examples are the projects Cultura Bridge and WIF. In particular, the project Cultura Bridge aims to improve the vocational education on sustainable tourism of different countries, in particular Cabo Verde, Senegal, and Kenya. And we are collaborating with different organizations from Italy, Greece, and Spain to support them, to support organizations there to train more people of this sector, especially students, but also young professionals. And that is a project that we've been working in the last 2 years and finishing this year.
Well, we can have we can put in the note of the episodes links, not just your contacts as usual, but also links to the projects you're talking about, so that people can check them out. I think that will be very, very interesting. Let me finish with a tougher question, because you have all this experience, not just long experience, but intense, with many different projects, with many different programs. So you know very well the whole process of EU-funded projects, the application process, the evaluation, everything. What would you change in this process if you could? What the one thing that if you were given the opportunity, you would change?
Yeah, well, I could say, well, my vision is that the barrier to participate in this project is very high for newcomers.
Okay.
It is important. Well, of course, there are training courses and you can learn from other professionals. In my particular case, I learned from other professionals and doing by practice, so learning by doing. But it would be important that we, or the manuals and the European Union, programs, to communicate better the aims behind each type of project. That would be important. It is very important indeed to improve on communication of why the European Union is funding these projects. That is very important. And after that is just to decrease the bureaucracy in the preparation of certain projects. That would be important. I can, in my opinion, it has been improved a lot. For instance, the project directly with the European Commission are quite easy to prepare now, with common templates and in a common platform. But I think it can be improved also in other programs, in some Interreg programs, for instance, or also the Erasmus Plus project submitted at the national authorities. the bureaucracy should be decreased in those cases. That could be a recommendation. And the other recommendation especially is the communication. Why the European Union is financing this project? Because I fully, if you allow me, Fernando, I fully believe on the goodwilling of the European Union and the integration process and the European Union construction in general. Because although we sometimes focus on the negative aspects, it is not the same to compete against economic powers like China or United States from small markets than going together in a market of almost 500 million inhabitants.
Sure.
So, and also because among the European Union is not only about economics; it's also about social aspects, and behind all of this is the liberal democracies, what we call, and the defense of democracy and social progress in general. So in my opinion, it is needed to communicate better why we are working in this cohesion and this cooperation projects, and because it is needed. There are many different differences between European Union regions, and many of these projects are oriented to decrease these differences and to improve the competitiveness of the companies, and also to upgrade the capacities of the people. Sure. So we have to work on these aspects.
So you're not a neurocetic, you are a neuro-optimist, but you want better communication. I fully subscribe to your words. I agree with you completely. And I think that's a good final message, sorry, for this interview. I want to thank you. Sorry. I want to thank you for your time and for being with us and for all the great experiences you share with us. You shared with us in all these projects you mentioned. Everyone can get in touch with you through your contacts that will be on the episode notes. So, thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Fernando. Thanks for this opportunity. Bye.
Are you part of a public research organization, academic institution, or a spin-off? Do you want to maximize the value of your intellectual assets? Introducing the Horizon Europe Call, Horizon, CL4-2024, Human, 02-35. This initiative focuses on intellectual asset management support for your institution. With a total budget of 11 million euros, this call aims to boost your capacity to manage intellectual assets effectively. Who can apply? Legal entities from EU member states, Norway, Iceland, Israel, and the United Kingdom are eligible. Your consortium must include at least 3 entities from 3 different countries. Projects should focus on enhancing the management of intellectual assets, ensuring your research can generate maximum impact. Don't miss the deadline. Submit your proposal by September 10th, 2024 at 1700 hours Brussels local time. For more details and to apply, visit the Funding and Tenders portal. Unlock the potential of your intellectual assets with Horizon Europe. Apply now.
InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles, is a weekly video podcast. Please subscribe to the Polixdocs newsletter to receive every podcast episode. And if you like receiving it, please press like in whatever platform you are watching or listening. Also, please share InnovEU and Polixdocs with anyone you feel will enjoy it. Credits, author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.